I'm getting all nostalgic about my old turf and surf. The old longboards. That's what we had to deal with, and that's why I never became a board rider. A friend of mine, his older brother, had one of those longboards. So it took three of us teenagers, to carry one in the train, get out, carry it down to the beach. It weighed a ton. You'd get on it. Oh, they were useless, horrible things. But I just thought I'd show where the latest fatal shark attack was in Sydney. I think it was this year, earlier this year. Little Bay. Little Bay. Now, I've never been there. It's I've been on just about every beach on the east coast of Australia, but Little Bay is just up around, oh, 5, maybe 5 kilometres north of Cronulla, maybe 10 at the most. But that's the sort of place where you will get taken by a shark. No surf, flat as a tack, lots of kelp with fish in the kelp, and this poor guy was taken out by a 20-foot long white pointer, 4.5 metre job, and yeah, very, very sad. Luckily for him, it was all over in a couple of seconds. Um, yeah, it's just north of my old beach. I showed Bondi then. I lived in Bondi. I used to be a house sitter. I lived in Bondi. I never even went down to look at it because it was just like wall to wall tourists, um, and it's just a small beach, totally boring. I just don't get it. Um, this is the beach is the beach where I grew up. Captain Cook landed just round the corner in Botany Bay in 1770 something, and claimed this continent for England. This is North Cronulla back in the 1990s. Um, just a body surf just in there. When the surf's up, a king. Back, I'm talking back in the 60s and 70s, when it used to get really big surf there. Um, Basically, the whole of North Cronulla was wiped out in 1974 in a massive storm, and it's never been the same since. Uh, and then there's South Cronulla. So I mean, Cronulla, it's actually it's about 7 miles long. I showed it in that last video. It's a huge. It's about. It's got about 5 or 6 beach names, but that was my stomping ground. I'm getting off track. Get on with it. Yeah, a fatal shark attack, the first one in 60 years, um, off the Sydney beaches. Terrible, terrible business. But see, what a lot of people do is a lot of the people, and there's been a lot more fatal shark attacks in Australia in the last 5 to 10 years since they stopped fencing the beaches because they were wrong because all sorts of other animals would get caught in the nets, and it wasn't a good idea. But most of the fatal shark attacks in the Sydney area were up estuaries. And I grew up on Port Hacking, just south of Cronulla there. And there was one fatal attack at Mansion Point in 1927. Now, the only time I've ever experienced a close encounter with a shark was in the mid-1960s off Gymea Bay. Me and Ian Morris, who's a well-known environmentalist park ranger in the Northern Territory, has been for decades. We grew up together and wandered around National Park collecting snakes and lizards and, just enjoying nature. Um, we hired a wooden, you wouldn't call it a kayak, it'd be a canoe. It was quite solid built wooden canoe. Um, we got halfway across the Port Hacking there, heading towards Main Bar. Don't It's a little settlement on the other side of the estuary thing. We got about halfway across, and suddenly, poof, bang! What the heck was that? Something came up and banged underneath and it went up in the air. And I went, what the hell? I was probably about 15. We were probably 15, 16, 14. No, probably 14. And the next thing, this is the truth, I swear to God, once you've been this close to a tiger shark, an angry tiger shark, I'm telling you now, it just bang, and then we're going, what? And the next thing, this thing came up, and here's me in the back of the canoe. There's Ian's in the front. I'm in the back. And right there, wham, this head, that big, just lands and rests on the edge of the canoe, and the canoe sinks that way. And this bloody big black eye with no soul, mate. Nothing. There's nobody home. It's a machine. And it just looked, and I just went, oh, fuck. It slipped back, and we went hell for leather. Whoa, off we go. And over on the other side, there's this old guy going like this. And we got there without it coming in at us again. He said, I saw that. He said, that thing took my bulldog a few days ago. So what they used to do, and we used to go fishing down there too, and the bull sharks used to come underneath the wharf where you're fishing. They were big buggers, but yeah. So, and for years I wasn't sure what shark it was. It happened so quickly. I thought it was all sorts of sharks, and then I thought it had to be a bull shark. But then when you look at, and bull sharks by far kill more people worldwide than any other shark. I thought it had to be bull shark, but it did. This thing had jet black eyes. It didn't have the long snout of a white pointer. It had, like a bull shark, a tiger has a big wide mouth. It was definitely a tiger shark. Because years later, I was walking up the other side of that estuary in the national park. We went up to Winifred Falls. We're swimming up there in the freshwater pool thing, and as we're walking back, this humongous, it must have been at least 13 or 14, 15 feet long tiger shark was just swimming up as you please right along the bank in almost fresh water. I just went, I don't believe it. And then I read about it, and they said the female tiger sharks go up into fresh water to give birth to their pups or something. Look, don't quote me on this, but the thing, or to get rid of barnacles or something. But I think it's to go up there that it sort of induces birth or some nonsense. I reckon that thing that had a go at us and was probably either a pregnant female tiger shark, or all I can say is thank God it was a good old-fashioned wooden canoe and not some flimsy fiberglass job, because this thing had the shits, I'm telling you now. And I've never, ever, ever felt comfortable in rivers or brackish or, salt going in the fresh water ever since. I will not stick my toe in it. And the thing is, a lot of these people that get taken by sharks in Australia are immigrants. They come out here and they just don't know. The safest place to be to avoid a shark attack is in the surf, in the breakers. And that's why I was a body surfer all those decades, you know, because you don't hear of it. It's so rare, it's almost impossible. Because when you're in the breakers with the crashing waves, body surfing, you know, catching waves, and why would you want to stand on a board? You just show it off. You're just a fucking wanker. You're like a fucking audiophile. Hey, look at my stereo gear. I don't care about the music, but listen to how this boring music sounds almost real. No, in the breakers, you got a little old Garrard turntable, a Bush, much better looking than some of the other ones, very posh HB, and it's you're alive, you live in it. It's analog. The breakers are analog. They're valve amps, nature's valve amps, nature's 5 gram the pressure on the 45. So, and a couple of times, you know, Steve Irving, or whatever, Irwin, he's a dickhead. Sort of prick that runs up a grizzly bear, goes, hello. And he was bound to die, but I actually landed on it twice. I used to do soldier dives off into the baths down around the Cronulla Gymea Bay area, where you jump and you go down straight. So you go straight in the water and you hit the bottom. Twice I've landed on stingrays, and I landed on one at Gunnamatta Bay in Cronulla there, and it was massive. This huge, they feed at the bottom. I went down, straight down, hit this thing, and straight away went, oh shit, this is huge. Somehow it would have thrown its sting barb like that, and somehow it missed me. I could have died. The blue-ringed octopuses in the swimming pool down at Oak Park near Cronulla there, we knew they were there, you just didn't go near them. The tiny little octopuses this big. You wouldn't even think twice, but when they're angry, they go bright blue. And when they go bright blue, if those things get those bloody fangs into you, you're dead within minutes. You've got no chance of survival. So all I'm saying is, anyone that comes out here, if you want to survive a shark attack, go to Bondi Beach, because all the human shit, piss, vomit and excrement there will kill the sharks and things before they can even get near you. But if you go to a nice, clean sort of a beach, don't go to Little Bay, but stay in the breakers, you know, because when the waves are crashing endlessly, bang, 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 it's not for sharks won't go near that. They'll wait outside, or they'll get. Anyway, look, I'm running out of time. I got all excited. Now I'm going to have to go out and drink some wet wine.